Hey, so we're trying to get live hours again. I know we're annoying when we do this, but we have these goals. But I do want to tell another story because I just put up a story about a scary story with the pumpkin head. But this story was at our grocery store. We were trying a Baptist church in town for like 3 months. And so nobody really ever talked to us. It was a big church. I mean, they were friendly, but it wasn't like a real social connection for us. We sat in the back in the balcony and just kind of went. So we didn't really know anybody. It's long story short. And it's after church. We'd been going there like 3 or 4 months at this time. I'm going to the grocery store, getting my groceries, go to checkout. There's like, 4 checkouts on this side, 4 checkout, self checkout on this side. If you've ever been in a Fry's or a Kroger or any big grocery store, there's a lot of them, it was a lot of them. So there was 8 self checkouts. So at this point, we had seen, Ari was with me, and we had seen a man that had been following us a little bit, and he was dressed in church clothes, like dress pants. It was right after church. He's wearing a button-up shirt. He's probably like 38. And he goes, like, to me on like one of the aisles, and I was like, he must be somebody from that church that's been saying we're going there, and he's trying to introduce himself. My husband's like, oh my gosh, that's not what you need to think in your brain when this is happening. But that's just the way some of us naturally want to think. So because the clothes, you think you can read somebody just because of the clothes, and that's the point of this live. And so then he comes to self checkout at this point. He doesn't really do anything else in the store. We finish up. I'm going to check out. So then he's going to check out behind us. Well, I'm noticing him at this point, like, this guy's not really saying anything else. Well, I go to one of the self checkouts, and all of them are full with people. The line's really long. The man comes up to me in the middle of what felt like God and everybody. There was literally like 16 people standing there. And mind you, this is like less than a year ago. So I'm very happily married. I've never had this happen while being happily married. So he comes up to this degree. He comes up in front of everyone and says, "Hi, I just have been noticing you around the grocery store." And he smiles and stands there, like goes into position. And I was like, oh, you don't go to church where we've been trying or whatever. And he's like, oh no, I just been seeing you around the grocery store or whatever. And I was like, he's like, I said, oh, well, this is my son. Oh, at this point, my 12-year-old is no nonsense. He's just like that. He's got his dad's card in him. So he is like starting to go red, like, oh, I don't like this. Because he's already taken on the whole situation. And he's like, what is this guy doing? So then he goes, what's the last thing he says? I said, oh, I'm happily married. This is my son. I was trying to be nice, which you don't always have to be in this situation at all. I'm not really that nice anymore about it. I think usually if a woman has a child with you, you can judge that differently, but in a store. But so everybody's watching, almost like a proposal. And I'm standing there with self checkout with like bread or something in my hand, and I'm just like, this is happening. And I'm like, oh, I'm happily married. I tell him that. And he's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I've just been following you around the store because you're so beautiful. And I just wanted you to know. And I was like, okay. And I'm telling you, you could hear a pin drop. Everyone was just watching. It was so embarrassing. He had to walk back and get back in the line. It was the worst rejection. And people were cracking up. And they were like, oh my goodness. So anyway, I would love anybody to share their stories of awkward pickups in stores that you've gone through, or if you have time, watch the stalker story I just put up with the pumpkin head. That one's actually might scare you. You have to let me know if it scares you. The ending definitely scared me when it happened. But anyway, I don't get out much. This is why. I don't know how to end these things. Thanks for watching.